All right, good evening and welcome to the October 8th, 2024 meeting of the Grafton Mass Accessibility Advisory Commission. I'm Roger Trahan, stepping in for our chair, Alexis Henry, and I call this meeting to order at 6:37 p.m. And as a preliminary matter, because we're on Zoom, I will be doing an attendance roll call. Tracy Sharkey.
She's mouthing here.
Sorry, I was getting the agenda up.
Okay.
I'm here.
All right, Christy Proctor.
Here.
Paul Letourneau.
Here.
Roger Trahan here. Catherine Dupuy. I'm not seeing Catherine. And so we don't have any anticipated speakers. And so as per our habit, we've been basically brushing over and not doing the full meeting script for Zoom. We all know how these things run. And so first item on the agenda, I will simply say that Tracy Sharkey has been named Inspector of Buildings. You were the interim, so congrats. So
thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. So that means that you're with us for the long haul as the, the select board rep and ADA
Yes.
coordinator in town.
Yes,
any other announcements that anyone may have? All right. I would like to come back to external correspondence and Grafton celebrates the holidays, just for the sole purpose of, for starters, meeting minutes of September 10th, 2024. So I'm going to take that out of order. Do I have a motion to accept the draft minutes of September 10th, 2024?
I make the motion.
Motion made by Paul, seconded by Tracy. Any discussion on the motion?
I apologize. I'm trying to pull up the meeting minutes.
Oh, okay.
I see 10/8. What was the date again? I apologize.
It was 9/10.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You sent them to us if you sent them to us on 9/10.
I know, I'm in my web app for Word. So let me just look.
I had literally one typo to change, and then that was it.
That's all.
And I'm sensing that no one else is going to weigh in, so we may be able to take care of this in short order.
Okay, well, let me go back to email. I apologize. This is just the way my day's going, right?
Mine too. You have no idea. It's just.
So let me go to my sent. I apologize. This will just take a moment.
So but Tracy, does that position come with like a gavel or a robe or some sort of?
Not that I know of. No gavel. No handcuffs.
No secret handshakes.
No, maybe a badge.
No passwords.
Yeah, maybe.
No passwords.
Right.
Just free and open. Yeah.
Yeah.
For all.
Found them. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being patient. Okay, go ahead, Roger.
It's wicked simple. Under new business, item 5A.
Okay.
And it's town inspector of buildings. You had mentioned town inspector. Welcome, Tracy Sharkey. Tracy's currently the
of buildings.
Is the interim, right? The interim inspector of buildings.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
Any other discussion on the motion? All right. Hearing none. All those in favor by roll call. Tracy.
Aye.
Christy.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Roger. Aye. Declare the motion carried unanimously for nothing.
Excellent.
All right. And hold on a second. And then the other thing is also taking out of order, because we need to take a vote on it. 5B under new business town meeting, Article 13 of this upcoming Grafton Town meeting of October 21st. Article 13 requests it's an appropriation of 85,000 from community preservation funds for a vertical wheelchair lift at the Unitarian Church, Unitarian Universalist Society of Grafton and Upton, UUSGU at 3 Grafton Common.
Mhm.
This wasn't part of the meeting packet, but I emailed everyone like a 12-page community preservation, the CPA application. And in a nutshell, this basically finishes off, is the final phase that then allows someone to get from the first level to the second level. And so, you know, there was the original stuff was the ramp or the slope sidewalk, what have you, that got you into the foyer, but then you couldn't independently get up to the second level. So this is requesting that town meeting appropriate 85,000 in community preservation funds that are leveraged against, I'm not sure if it was, all right, okay, I'm looking at, there were 3 phases. Phase 1 was the exterior access through sidewalks and a landing to get into the building, and that was 38K. This is phase 2, design and plan a vertical lift from the first floor to our main meeting space on the second floor. What will eventually be is phase 3, raise funds through a capital campaign and grants to construct the vertical lift. So I'm not
I'm
sure.
surprised.
I'm not
I'm
sure if this is funding. Town meeting did vote to fund the first, or to appropriate some funds, public funds for the first section. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, these are all public funds. That's the only question. So I'm a little surprised at the amount for, I mean, this is a big project, but again, they did go to a source and locate it. So good for them.
And it says raise, so the estimated costs through a capital campaign and grants to construct the vertical lift is 225. And I'm just trying to think, I kind of, I kind of glanced over this a bit. It says, so the Society's request of 85,000 from CPA program leverages funds from the town with a significant investment of 140,000 from the church and the community. No additional CPA funds will be required for this project. The cost of maintenance and repairs will be borne by UUSGU. So I don't know if they're short on money, even after this may be appropriated, but what I did is I had Alexis put this on the agenda for us to possibly endorse this. And then if we did, then the vote would include having Alexis as chair or her designee at least mention in front of town meeting, if we do endorse it, that we also were one of the many community stakeholders that endorse it. So I'm not sure at what point this will come to fruition. It has a sunset provision of June 30th of 27, but town meeting has typically added additional language to these warrant articles. It says unless by CPC by majority vote extends the deadline, meaning that before that language was inserted, a lot of things reached deadline and people are frantically trying to come before town meeting to reauthorize it. So typically, if there is a sunset provision, it goes back to committee to determine to extend the sunset provision.
Who's
So
sponsoring the article?
it says submitted by the Community Preservation Committee. Everything
Okay.
goes through them to if the criteria are met, it goes on the
Mhm.
warrants. I don't recall them ever having really endorsed a project like publicly versus otherwise saying, well, this meets the CPC criteria. And thus we are there. It looks like it's a submitted by CPC. And so,
So we would motion to have a favorable or unfavorable recommendation to
yes.
the CPC.
Well, no,
on
to
this article?
town meeting.
Okay,
And in other
Um,
words, so it's submitted by the CPC, but really they're not,
they're not sponsoring it?
yeah, I guess, no, the petitioner wants
Yes.
money. And so the CPC, if it's not a department, actually, no, all of these articles are submitted by CPC. I think they have to, meet the certain criteria. Yeah. All of the CPC articles are submitted by CPC.
So
So,
I have a question.
yes,
If we say we're for it, are we saying that because it enhances that building's ability to move people from one floor to another?
yes, excuse me. And so back in the day, in the past year or two, people were kind of concerned that it was not only private, but a religious or,
Right.
entity. But there were enough public meetings that it did not run afoul of the state law regarding CPC funds. And we have, the town has appropriated public funds to this already for this project. So, so
And
this
those
is
funds are
based,
for those funds were for the ramp?
yes.
Okay.
And so this is, the second phase to enhance accessibility to the second floor. And so basically we'd be voting to endorse it. I mean, we could certainly, as part of the endorsement, if that's our vote, authorize the chair to write a letter of support. I don't know who it would be to. Maybe, yeah, maybe, I guess, Tracy, maybe to CPC.
Yeah, usually, each board would make a favorable recommendation and then have a report with that recommendation. In the past, that's how I've done it. So I'm just not sure. But there's already been town funds allocated in the May 2022 for the plans and everything. So
I
We're
don't
good on that.
remember exactly what town meeting, but I know that Finance Committee will vote its recommendations on each warrant article. And
okay,
I think they're the only people that will officially weigh in just by mandate.
okay,
Just because our charter and bylaws speak of the Finance Committee making a recommendation on every warrant article that comes in
Okay.
front of town meeting. So no one reached out to us. I just noticed that. So I was being proactive. I said, is there anything that could come before town meeting that could potentially benefit from our recommendation?
yeah. So I think if we wrote a letter of support to the CPC and then from Alexis, and then if they wanted to include that tidbit in their presentation at town meeting, I think that would also just kind of a seal of approval.
And if they don't, that I would be seeking that as part of the motion that I would entertain for to also authorize the chair or her designee to speak in front of town meeting in support of this. In other words, sometimes it may be an oversight that they may not include that in the presentation. And if they did, it doesn't bear repeating. But if they didn't, then we wouldn't want to just sit back and not say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one of us could reach out, either myself or Alexis, not only to write something, but also to point it out to CPC that this endorsement letter, if that's our vote, is forthcoming, and that someone from this commission, if we vote in the affirmative, speaks in favor of it at town meeting.
Okay, I'd be in favor of that motion.
All right.
I
So
would say
what is
so
what a
moved on
motion?
that.
I still have a question.
Yeah, Paul. And Christie has a hard out at
Yeah.
at 7.
7. I'm meeting
And-
with a professor at Stanford University. I can't keep them waiting.
All right, so so Paul, you got to make it quick. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm for the improving the accessibility of the building. As long as we're supporting people's ability to move about, not supporting that religion.
No, it's, we understand from historically that there's a ton of non-religious, just even like Al-Anon and AA, this community, it's opened up as a community function. So we're not endorsing religion.
Okay,
We're
good.
endorsing access to a space that is by and large used a ton by the community for secular purposes.
Oh, good, okay.
Yes.
Hoorah.
All right, so the motion would on 5B would be to I guess
I got it. I got it.
yeah,
I'll make a motion to support access to this space at 3 Grafton Common and endorse the article in both a letter as well as the ability for the chair to speak at town meeting,
the chair or her designee.
her designate. Okay.
Yeah, because if she's not available, one of us, I always go. So,
I second.
all right, motion
Okay.
made by Christie and seconded by Paul. Any further discussion on the motion?
No.
All right. All right. All right. Hearing none. All those in favor by roll call. Tracy,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Roger, I declare the motion carried unanimously 4-0. I just want to note that it's 6:53. Do you need the extra minutes to bug out of here? Once you
No.
bug out of here, Christie, the meeting would be just adjourned just by lack of a quorum.
Right.
Well, did
Necessity.
you check with Catherine?
I called her and I didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I thought that maybe there was a possibility that if she was going to make it, that she would have a hard out too.
Yeah, she might be proctoring.
Yeah. No updates on improvement grant 4B. Well, I know I'm jumping out of order. 4A ADA grievance procedure on the town website, Tracy.
Yes, so I did prepare something that is for the town personnel. So I don't know if anybody would like me to, I can move forward or I could share my screen.
Yeah.
If you would like me to move forward, could I have the screen? Could you share? Just as you're doing that, I also spoke with Adam and Rec about the placards on the
I don't see where I can, it's a share screen. And we're going on 5 minutes for Christie. One participant, multiple can share. I think that gets you in, I think.
Okay. Yes.
All right. And it'll have to be on the quick, just
Okay,
because of
yep, so-
Christie's here.
Yep. So just quickly, and I did give this to Christy, I gave her the printout. So this is what I did for the, I actually made an accessibility advisory commission tag. So for the department, and then I did a grievance complaint form. This would be for, I pretty much put this in from our, town of Grafton form. And I just put the verbiage straight from the personnel policy. So this can go live, or I can send it as a PDF for people to review. And if you want to add or change anything, but this is exactly what the Google Doc had in it. And I just made it into an online form.
All right.
We could
That's
also do
excellent.
a public feedback, I think, Christy, we
Yeah.
wanted to call it feedback, public feedback form, something like that. But I could just whip that up if, so say the playground issue or concern that the person had, they would submit it. And rec would also be on the workflow so they could see and they could address the issues right away versus the social media path. So that's kind of, I don't know if we want to table it for the next meeting or I can
Yeah.
work.
I think so.
Um,
Yeah, let's table this and all the other things. When Chrissy mentioned a hard deadline at 7, that probably means at least giving her a moment to breathe in advance of 7.
I
And
know.
Okay,
it's already 6:57. So I think we'll need to table everything to our next meeting of Tuesday, November 12th, 24. I guess rather than have the meeting immediately go away, we could always agree by consensus, which I think we have. And then I'll take a motion. I'll accept a motion to adjourn, I guess.
I make the motion to adjourn.
All
Thank
right,
you.
motion made by Paul to adjourn, seconded by,
I'll second.
all right, seconded by Christie, with all other items tabled to our November 12th meeting. All those in favor by roll call, Tracy,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Roger, I declare the motion carried and unanimously 4-0. This meeting is adjourned at 6:58 PM.